Shows like Video Game Confessions, Ask That Guy with Glasses, Bum Reviews, and probably the best known Nostalgia Critic. Applause! And to my left is...
I am Leo Thompson, aka ThatSciFiGuy, and host the show Also, the legally inebriated gentleman, where we review beers.
So always rate his beer. I can't. Okay, so honestly, this is just going to be a straightforward Q&A. We have a mic set up right there. Like I said, I think it's only an hour long, so we're just going to get right through it. Also, so something to keep in mind, after this, if somebody didn't get it, will you keep quiet? You sound like children over there. Oh, we only have an hour! I love how often that works. No. After this, we do have autographs as well. I don't know how long the line's going to be. It's kind of been insane the past few days. So after this, if you want to be like me and just run over there, because I don't know how nuts it's going to be, that'll be good. I do have DVDs and prints, and anything you bring to sign is free. And there's a question you didn't get to ask here. You know, you can go ahead and ask me there. I'm really curious what No Face's question is, because I don't recall talking.
The guy who's behind everything.
Yes. So I think, you know, I'm sure more people will wander in and stuff, but we're just going to go ahead and get started. So, yes, go ahead.
Hi, Doug.
Hi.
What is your favorite video that you've worked on?
My favorite video that I've worked on? I think right now it's kind of a toss-up between the Cat and the Hat Lorax. I really like sticking up for Dr. Seuss. I get really pissed off when people are like, "Oh, it's Dr. Seuss, only a few words, it's easy and stuff." And people really take, you know, they really take for granted how difficult it is to select very few words, important words, for them to leave an impact on you, not just as a kid, but as an adult, and have it stay with you. It takes really great talent, and it's great artwork too. So yeah, I love sticking up for that. So yeah, those are probably, that's awesome.
Hello, Doug.
Hello. Yes, everyone here is
person.
Yes, everyone here apparently is the size of Peter Dinklage.
The imp agrees. I want to ask, I loved your Avatar vlogs, and they kind of renewed my interest in.
Sorry, it's just the guys maneuvering the boys. I really like your Avatar.
Airbending around. I love your Avatar vlogs because they kind of renewed my interest in The Last Airbender, and I really love the Adventure Time vlogs. So I was wondering, once you're caught up on Adventure Time, do you have another TV show you plan to vlog?
We'll do something because people really seem to like them. I don't know what yet. You know, a few titles have been thrown out, but we don't know exactly.
My Little Pony.
Because that's been brought up quite a bit. It is one of those things, if I did do it, I would need help on it, because I think I've seen like 2 episodes, and they're not bad. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah, I love your April Fools.
Yes! There's nothing wrong with it, but I was like, I don't know how I'm going to talk about this for every single one, so we'll see what we can do. But yeah, hold on, wait till we get to the mic there. But
thank you.
Absolutely.
You're awesome.
You're awesome. Oh, hi.
Okay. My question for you, Doug, is one of my favorite reviews is The Room, obviously. And I'm wondering, there's been some sort of a week after you released that review, was some sort of controversy because
a week, a minute. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, but then it was posted up or something like that. But my question for you is Tommy Wiseau still after you?
If he is, he's doing it very secretly.
Are the seed horses?
He very well could be. I mean, we still don't know where his main income is coming from. So even that hitman, like watching you, like, you know, wait till the time is right. But as far as we know, he's not, and obviously the cast has seen the review and they really like it, and I can't speak for Tommy because I haven't met him, but it sounds more and more he's kind of coming around to it, but I don't know, I have no idea. I'm afraid to get inside that guy's mind, but I imagine it'd be an intriguing journey. So anything about do I think Tommy Wiseau is, it's like, I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. I don't think he knows. But more power to him, because that man is so entertaining to watch.
What a funny story.
True story.
I was wondering, Doug, since anniversary specials, the Rock Bible, the critic. I know you went to college for filmmaking, but then you went the illustration route. Do you put more passion, because a lot of the new reviews are, I consider short films. Do you put more passion into filmmaking or just reviewing in general?
Honestly, I'd have to honestly say the film, the anniversary films, because they take a lot more time, they take a lot more effort, and by default, they would have to take a lot more passion. Even though I love the reviews and I put so much time into them, I mean, sometimes I'll work like a 24-hour day or something like that. I mean, it can be like really insane. I do realize it's like, yeah, with the anniversary specials, it's like, no, I need to get this as right as possible. Like, we do even set a deadline until it's like, 3/4 done. So, yeah, so probably those.
Yeah, because like the review goes on, that's probably like one of the best short films I've ever seen. So.
Actually, the funny thing about that, we were doing demo reel and it wasn't going over very well and people weren't getting into it, and we kind of realized like, okay, I think we got to bring the critic back. But everything in that video was very true, that I did have this second wind going and this passion was coming back. So that entire thing was actually shot in a day because I was actually so passionate about bringing it back. So I think I got up at 7 a.m. and went to bed at like midnight that night, and every once in a while, just like, my wife be walking around, just like, I'm shooting a movie! Okay, honey! So it's, yeah, the passion on that was like really, really strong. And I think when you do have that passion, you work really quick and just nothing can stop you half the time. So, yeah.
All right, thanks.
Cool.
I can agree on that. When you're really, really focused and passionate, you just go.
There was a time last December, while I was doing the Disney December, it's like, you may have noticed, like, people were asking, like, does Doug have cancer? Because he's really looking thin. And there was a time during the Disney December, it's like, I just wasn't eating. And not like I'm trying to starve myself, I just would forget. And I'm not saying that's healthy or good. I mean, but it's like, when you get into it, it's like, you can forget those things sometimes. You just don't notice it. So it can get, like, really crazy insane sometimes. So, yeah, go.
Hello. I was curious, of the Care Bears movies you have reviewed, which has the best villain?
That, yeah, it'd have to be Doc! Nicholas in the book is a very close second because they were really entertaining. But it's like it's a combination with those two. Like when it's just Darkheart, it's very bad. That voice, I think it's a Canadian accent. I'm not sure what. I know it sounds weird. I mean, Canadians do actually have a little bit of an accent. And we're listening to what is this accent? And it's like, I think it's Canadian. I can't tell, but it's like, I love that kid's voice. So yeah, I think it's Doc.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Hey, just to bring out there, how many questions am I able to get past?
Let's do two. After that, you gotta get back up.
Doug, I like the videos. Also like the review must go on.
That's not a question. No.
That really made me cry a few times.
Oh.
Yes. And I also like the Lawrence view. But to put the question to you, did most of your writing, you had to actually plan out, or do you usually you improvise a lot? Because you usually have a lot of funny stuff to say, you got right off the top of your head. So like, does that usually have an improv into your
it's the nostalgia critics are mostly written. Once in a while, there's an improvised line. It's stuff like the Michael Bay rant and the Pearl Harbor review. That one I knew as like, okay, I gotta just see what I'm feeling at that moment. I just put bullet points to hit, and that was mostly improvised. I think I did that take like 10 times. So like I was really out of breath. You know, by the end, the last take was the best one. So you see the face really red. That's because I did it like 10 times. But it turned out really good. But no, the bum reviews, all the other stuff is improvised. The bum reviews, the ThatSciFiGuys, the video game convention, those are all improvised. The nostalgia critics are very much written. But once in a while, there's a little improv.
All right, and you sci-fi guy.
Yes.
Finally, question. How long does it take to actually get through to write and get a whole episode in?
I mean, it kind of varies. You know, I was working a full-time job, so it was kind of doing it like as a hobby. So it would take me, I mean, honestly, we would spend probably about a month. But like I said, it was working like in my free time, which I have a lot more free time now.
Oh, so is that why most of the sci-fi videos is just, it takes a long time to make a...
Yeah, I really try to put a lot of care into those, which is also why, you know, I do the League of Inebriated Gentlemen and, you know, other videos here and there.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm very short.
You can probably like go like that.
I'm lazy.
Short and lazy.
ThatSciFiGuy. How the hell do you find the movies that you find? Seriously.
I mean, some of them are just movies that I grew up with, honestly. And then, I don't know, some of them are, I've done a couple off of suggestion, and then you know, just other people in my crew like, oh, I want to do this movie. All right, well, I haven't seen that. This should be interesting.
Second question for Doug. I know that everything else about the critic is like improvised, but is there a certain way you write? Is there like a format not a format, but is there a certain way you make sure the script's good? Or do you have a certain zone you have to get into? What's your writing process, basically? The shape.
I write everything in order. It's very rare that I write it backwards or any other way. If there's one that has a story, I try to plan out where the cutscenes and stuff are roughly about to be and what lines are going to say, but for the most part I almost always write in order, because like I could write like whatever, the beginning sketch and the middle sketch and the end sketch like with the Lorax or something, and then go back and write the review, but I find like when I'm writing the review it's like, no, the pacing of this now seems a little different, the tone here, like the writing went in a different direction, so now I have to change these sketches, you know, so I kind of just try to let it flow very naturally, like just sort of, you know, as you're writing, just sort of let the jokes dictate where the skit should go and where the story should go. And I will say too, when I work, it's like there's nothing else going on. Like, you know, I work from home when I do the writing, but it's like that's it. You know, like, but the nice thing about it is like my wife has no interest in any of this, and it's gonna sound weird, I'm really thankful for that, because when I'm working, it's just work, and she knows that, she respects that. Once in a while she'll come in and ask something, but it's like, you know, he's working, I gotta, you know, leave him alone to that. Well, she works too, so half the time she's not home, but so when she comes back though, you know, and I'm done with work, it's like, okay, that's there, now it's relax time, now it's time to be with my wife, now it's like no work at all, and I can be totally focused on that and totally enjoy that. So, yeah, I'm very much I mean, everyone's different, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's lots of couples and people that they have the same interests and they do the, you know, and they work together and stuff, and there's lots of times where that works. I'm not saying it's like, that's the way to do it. I'm just saying that's the way I do it and I'm most comfortable.
I know it's different, that's why I asked.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hi. What's up, Doug? Your wife sounds absolutely wonderful.
She is.
Okay, 2 questions.
She's right here. I'm gonna put this down. You've been just looking at her hands the whole time. That's really creepy.
Okay, 2 questions. One for both of you. What videos do you have coming next?
You know, you paid to get in here and stuff like that. I assume you want to know what because the next one's an editorial, I assume you want to know what the review is going to be.
Yeah.
The review is going to be Blues Brothers 2000.
I have a Battleship episode that I've been working on for a good minute. That one's going to be
In the question is for Doug. Would you ever consider doing a thing called Oscartober, where you review like the Best Picture winners every day of October, like your Disney December?
Huh. Not a bad idea. Originally the first thing I thought is, well, it'd have to be in October, and I thought, wait, no, it wouldn't. I could just call it Oscartober, it doesn't matter. I'll get back to you on that. It's not a bad idea.
Actually, for the whole panel, I follow this one on YouTube called The Mysterious Mr. Renner, and he's auditioning, and I heard about the auditions for the That Guy with Glass channel. I was wondering how long will it take for you to judge your process on how these auditions go? Because I would really have a high emphasis on him because he's one of my favorite reviewers of all time.
Oh, I mean, something people ask is like, how come you didn't advertise the pickups even more? You just put it at the end of the Lorax review, one of your most viewed reviews. But I mean, no, but they're like, why didn't you do a separate video? Because just by that little thing at the end of the Lorax review, we already have over 600 submissions. Just word's getting out. And we're just thinking, like, if we advertise even more, we're not gonna be able to get through these.
Yeah.
No, honestly, it just varies. I mean, there's some we're putting in the yes category, some in the maybe, some in the absolute no's. The absolute no's are pretty easy to spot. my brother always has this thing. He says, if it starts off with the hello, I'm blank, so you blank. He's like, go on. We don't want another me. I'm me. Yeah, so it just varies. Some are doing stuff that's really different. Some are doing review-based stuff that's unique and fun, and some are just doing sketches. And it's a fun process, but it's a very long process.
And the second one is well, I've heard a lot. What is one of I've seen your food fight review, which I must say is probably my favorite review of it. It's because the one where I see the most anger. But I really want to know, what's actually would you see worse? The animated Titanic movie sequel, The Christmas Tree, or Food Fight?
Honestly, no, because everyone was saying like, well, wait, no, I thought he said The Christmas Tree was the worst Christmas movie, and now he's saying that Food Fight is the worst anime movie. It's like, you just answered your own question. Worst animated, worst Christmas.
Just the worst film in general.
In general, it's Food Fight. It's because the Christmas Tree. Honestly, the only reason I hate it as much as I do is because it's a Christmas movie. And I really mean everything I said at the end about effort and stuff like that. On its own, it's hilarious, because it's so bad. It is like The Room. It's just so funny, but I really do hold Christmas everything as a really high standard. And the animated Titanic, again, is just hilarious. I mean, it's really, really fun.
Yeah.
Food Fight is not fun. It's like sometimes you see a creepy image and go, oh, that's a little weird, but no, it's just a miserable experience.
Also, before I want to say, if you're going to do time I'm going to say this. Captain Falcon comes by on magical seahorse ponies to take the people who sunk in the food bomb in this movie thing to the lost city of Atlantis. Just to give you an example, and they do it.
Okay.
Get ready for it.
See that movie.
You're gonna have to.
I'm a big fan of your Grinch review, your Lorax review, and your Cat in the Hat review. It's been just eating at my mind. Are you planning on doing the Horton Hears the two?
No, because that one is, while I don't think it's a good movie, I don't think it's like horrible bad. I mean, out of all of them, I think it's like the closest to getting what, they tried to keep it a little simpler and just keep it to the story. And honestly, that is the book that's probably the easiest cinematically to make a film out of, because it's already actually kind of a complex story, even though it's very simple words and rhyming. It's like a lot happens in that book when you think about it. But no, I don't like it, but I don't think it's as bad as those other ones. I don't think it's like a direct insult, to Dr. Seuss. I'm like, okay, well they're trying, and okay, I'm sure they got studio notes saying, throw in some anime references, throw in this, whatever. I probably won't, because even though I think it's bad, I don't think it's that bad.
Thank you.
Sure.
Do you have a moment to talk about Santa Christ?
He's here, isn't he? There he is. Oh, he wasn't. Okay, that's right. He does the cake.
Hey! We still love you, Santa. Santa Christ.
But do I have time to talk about Santa Christ? No, but if you come to my house in the middle of the day with a pamphlet or a brochure, and knock on my door, all the time in the world.
Concerning Santa Christ and some of the other characters, do those ideas and those characters come naturally, or do you have to like sit down and think about, let's have a weird character with a freaking song?
They kind of vary. There was a point where I realized I was forcing the characters a little bit. Rob always calls it, he just goes, the pirate. Because he always talks about the how to be a pirate thing and stuff. And that was the point where it's like, we all kind of realized, like, this is becoming formulaic, and we don't want that, And some good things that come out of it. I love the racist parrot episode. I think that was really funny. But yeah, we were sort of going through. It's like, yeah, we're starting to see this pattern of the quick editing and the talking. And it's like, okay, now it's like I'm purposely setting up, sort of these memes and these returning jokes and stuff, and it's. I sort of got stuck in that trap for a bit. I said, this is not how you keep going. This is, it's good to create an identity, but it's like, that's all it is now. It's like, it's just an identity, and that's not what I want to be. I want to be funny. I want to be good. I want to be smart. So, like, with that character, it was kind of forced. But with others, it just kind of depends. Like, there is stuff I'm going into, okay, for example, the hyper fangirl I want to do for a while because that's the one thing I haven't done with the character is that I've never done anything romantic with the character, and I was just like, what the critic and a love story, what would that be? And I just thought it'd have to be something that just be miserable and would most likely end in misery. So somebody that loves him and he doesn't love her back, and she's like obsessed and stuff. So, because originally in the South Park, top 11 South Park episode, you see Rachel sort of in this orange shirt, this getup, and that was sort of like a testing for the character to see like, well, is this kind of how I want to go or whatever, but it never played into anything. So finally, like when the Lorax came around, I'm like, okay, well here's something that this had a lot of fangirls, so it's like, okay, I can bring this character in now, we can see how and then we're great with the Spider-Man as well. So it's good not to force it. Unless it is Santa Christ, which was totally forced. Because my brother was saying, like, he always claims, I like being behind the scenes, I don't want to be in front of the camera. One day was like, I don't do enough stuff, why don't you give me some way to blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, I'm going to give you the most awesome, epic character that has ever existed. It's just like everything awesome and everything cool, it's just like, okay. So I'm gonna try over. I'm sorry. You're looking at the back of my head. I'm sorry. I'm gonna try and talk over here too. So yeah, it was pretty much just like. And I say you're gonna get a song, and you're gonna ride a rocket ship. That's also a Harley somehow, and there's gonna be all this great stuff. So yeah, that one was totally forced, but that was part of the fun of it. It's just out of nowhere. Same thing with Black Willy Wonka. That was totally forced. But that was part of the joke too, is how just out of nowhere he was. And people love that. So as long as you don't make it like a constant thing, to a point where people can predict it, I think once in a while a forced one is okay, because it catches them off guard.
Like Black Grandma?
No, that wasn't mine. That's Lewis's. Fat Grandma. That was his, what was it? Him, I think, Phelan's creation. I think he's talked about this, so I think it's okay. Pretty much Phelan says that Lewis has done so many characters that he's sort of like the site's Tyler Perry. He says all that's missing is a fat grandma. So he just made this character just so he can have a fat grandma. And Lewis was really hesitant about it, and then when it actually came to be and people loved it, he's like, okay, I guess I can do a few more. And it's like, no, it's like my favorite character on the site. I love fat grandma. So yeah, and I have to use her sparingly because it's like I just want to put her in everything. I'm like, no, come on, restrict, come on. So yeah, so there you go.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hello. Okay, so this is for Nostalgia Critic. What's your favorite Zodism?
My favorite Zodism?
Yeah. Something Zod would say.
Something Zod would say.
Of doing like Zod Explains Halloween, because the idea of saying
Halloween.
the idea that there's a bunch of
son of Jarrell's walking around and he doesn't know which one to kill?
That's fun. If it doesn't get in the way of Oscar-tober. Well, we'll see. Well, we'll see about that. That's a good joke. I like that a lot. So.
Why are we focus grouping his ideas?
Thank you for coming.
This is how it gets
Thank you for having me.
Second, I ran into that sci-fi guy at the comic store. How's it feel going from just like a normal person coming con and being kind of a celebrity?
I'll say this that's really nice is that I can go out and just like walk on the street or go to a store and something like that, and only once in a while do I get recognized, which I really like. I don't want to be like everywhere, you know, I don't want to be like the Beatles or something like that. So I like that, but it's also nice coming here and it's just like a lot of people you come across, they're just like, you know, oh my God, it's you, thank you, you know, and can you sign this, can you do that, whatever, and honestly it's great, and I think I know like why some celebrities that come to this are like, you know, yeah, geez, I can't walk down the street or whatever, but at the same time it's like, in spurts like this, like at cons and stuff like that, it's great. I love seeing you guys. So yeah, no, it's great.
Question for both of you guys. How, like this, I guess a short story of how you guys like got started, why you decided to make internet videos reviewing what the movies that you guys like or don't like.
Well, I started out with a boy named Dirk Diggler. It just started as a hobby. I was doing. I had a YouTube channel where the first video I posted was how I quit my job, which was a real video of me ripping off my shirt, dancing around the factory and stuff. And those are like the two things I'm known for. I'm known for Nostalgia Critic and that crazy ass guy who quit his job. Because like on internet circles, everyone knows me as Nostalgia Critic. TV circles, everyone knows, you know, it's like, oh, you're on 2020, you're on CNN, you're that crazy guy who quit his job. You know, that was awesome. You know. So that got a lot of hits, and I started doing these 5-second movies that caught on. And then I tried doing Nostalgia Critic, that caught on. It was really just a hobby. It was just something for fun. And I kept getting kicked off of YouTube because of the copyright infringement.
We hate copyright!
There you go. And sure enough, when I kept coming back, I kept getting the audience back. I just knew it was good to keep these people. I didn't know what I was going to do with them yet, but I'm like, I need to hold on to these people. There's, you know, something to be had here. And sure enough, after a while, a guy named Mike Machado came along, and he had a business mind and said, look, I can make a business model, and you can make a living at this. Quiet, sorry. You know, he said, you know, I can make, you know, you can make where you can get paid for this. This is when nobody was getting paid for this. So, you know, I sort of took a chance on it and said, all right, and he got me 3 videos a week, and all right, so I kind of saved up some money, and, you know, I had to give up my other job at the time and just keep doing this, and sure enough, he came through in the business.
Stuff, and then, you know, there was a good number of years where we just weren't hanging out together as much, and we just weren't doing things. And then I spent like a year or so watching Angry Video Game Nerd and Nostalgia Critic and those kind of videos, and I was like, this seems like something I could do that would give me a creative outlet that I haven't had in a while. So I started making those and submitted to the site and got picked up, and here I am.
One more question for the Nostalgia Critic.
Sure.
What is your opinion on the new Godzilla movie in comparison to the Broderickzilla?
Oh, well, clearly not a fish. Yeah, that's all I got. If you want to know more details, look up. We did a sibling rivalry guide, so you can see it.
Okay, so this question is going to be for Nostalgia Critic. I like a lot of your content, but there's only one video that really left a bad taste in my mouth.
Just one? Wow.
And it would be your review on Pokemon when you first moved.
Awesome. Well, what did you talk about?
Well, it's one of my favorite childhood movies, and when I went back to it, I actually ended up liking it more than when I was a kid.
Still cry.
I was having this argument with this guy, and he told me it sucked, and all he said was, what nostalgia for you? So it kind of left me, you know, hanging a little. So I was just wondering, what's your real opinion on Pokemon?
My real opinion on Pokemon, okay, if you like Pokemon, That's fine. I like stupid shit too. I mean that in the best way. I really do. No, because like growing up, I loved Ninja Turtles. I was obsessed with them. Yes. You know, and like I said, if something's going on with Ninja Turtles, it's like I'll sort of keep an eye on it, but it's like it just sort of left me, and, you know, and whatever. There's Michael Bay, or what are you upset about Michael Bay? I'm like, yeah, I'm really upset what he's doing to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's taking the dignity out of you know, it's one of those things where it's like, and I was such a fanboy. I had like all the toys. I had the stinking blimp and the Technodrome and the giant Krang doll that was somehow bigger than the Technodrome. It made no sense, but I loved it. I adored it. You know, but yeah, as I look back, I'm like, hey, yeah, this is pretty silly, and I see the marketing now and stuff like that. But I'll always love it. You know, and if you love it for, you know, nostalgic reasons, great. If you love it for legit, hey, I think this is a good film, great too. You know, whatever has a good impact on you, let it have a good impact. Don't let anyone tell you different.
No, doing these videos, I've really come to terms with the fact that I like bad movies. I can look at it and say, oh yes, this is bad because this, and this, but I like it.
Yeah, so if you love it, man, love it. Don't let anyone take it away. If you see it a little differently, it's like it's still okay to like stuff you know isn't technically good, you know, and it's okay to like stuff everybody else hates. You know, just you like what you like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Thank you. Sure.
I just want to say you two are a big inspiration for me. I've always wanted to get into film, and it's anyway. My first question is for Doug. How did you first come up with the nostalgia critic? Like, did you just see a really, really shitty movie?
Well, you know, I was going. I was, you know, I was going through the nostalgic phase that everybody goes through, so I'll never get out of. I should talk, you know, but I was going through that nostalgic phase. I wanted to see all the stuff I grew up with, because I remember being so great, and I remember the immediate connection to my childhood and just these good feelings it brought out again, but watching it, I was realizing a lot of it was not as good as I remember. And it was funny, and it was enjoyable, and I was just noticing this, a lot of people were going through it too, and people were starting to talk about it, but not too many were doing this kind of character, this idea. The only one at the time was Video Game Nerd. So I was sort of thinking, like, well, I really liked, on The Daily Show, I liked Louis Black. I also liked the film critic they had at the time. And I loved watching both of them. I said, there's a way to combine these. I really like this idea because I love the Daffy Duck characters, I love the jerks, I love, you know, like Basil Fawlty. I love these really jerky people, and the funniest reviews, anytime I would re-review, were always the negative ones. You know, and again, so it's like when I saw James Rolfe doing his thing, I was sort of saying like, okay, so like there is an audience for this. Like, you know, that was sort of, when I saw him, that was sort of the, you know, little nudge, like, hey, try it. What do you got to lose? Try it. So yeah, I just put together, and I like the idea of a character who grew up with this stuff, loved it so much, and then as he got older, he like felt betrayed that it didn't hold up. You know, he was really angry at it. And it just kind of stemmed from there. So yeah, that's the very quick version of it.
Oh, and one more question. What would be your favorite nostalgic movie?
My favorite, or just one. I just man, that's hard. Like, you know, even nostalgia. What's nostalgic now? I don't know. And nostalgic is new now. You know. I guess Secret of Nim. I really love that.
I'm sorry to say that we're up on time, so you're gonna have to have the last question.
The pressure's on. Wait, did we start at 11 or 11:30?
11:30.
11:30. Let's start at 11:30. Yeah. All right. Well, you're scheduled to be in the okay.
What?
No. I think it's 1.
No, it's 12:30.
Wait.
Yeah, he gets to 12:30 because the next one's at 1.
All right, yeah, it's scheduled at 1. So, okay, we got half hour, people. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, damn, what's fast? What the hell?
My first question, you mentioned last night
Guys, go ahead.
that you had an illustration career. Could you talk about that a little bit? What kind of stuff you did, what you were doing in class?
There was, yeah, I was a freelance illustrator for a while, and And one of the reasons I quit my job the way that I did, it was a janitor job, which actually I loved being a janitor, honestly. I know it sounds strange, but I really liked it. You didn't have to deal with people, and you could be alone, you could listen to music, and it was fun. It paid well. Yeah, I was like, okay, I want to do something creative. I want to do something that I work really hard to try and achieve, and I want to throw it into illustration. So, and that was sort of like my big send-up, like, okay, I'm never going to do anything really stupid or really silly unless I'm getting paid for it. You know, I'm trying to say like this, you know, at least it's entertaining because I said this, I gotta be professional now. I can't be a slacker. I really gotta sit down and focus, you know, because, you know, I wasn't very good at focusing back then. So I'm like, okay, I need to really, really concentrate on this. So, so I just went and just every day I'd look for new clients and, you know, send my profiles out there and just look for new jobs. And, you know, and it really varied. Sometimes I could get 5 clients a day. Sometimes I could go a whole week with only getting 1 client. You know, it just varied. The biggest thing that I had, because a lot of the stuff you do, and half the time it never sees the light of day or you never see it, but the biggest one I did actually in Frankenmuth, Michigan, or I think it's Frankenmuth, Michigan. There's a place called the Bavarian Lodge. And, you know, it's just a hotel and whatever, and we were going swimming. I was walking by and I saw a children's vending machine that I designed that was called All-Star Chicken. And sure enough, I just walked by, I'm like, there's my drawings, holy shit, like, they made it! You bastards, you made it, hallelujah! You know, it was so cool. And I just saw it, and I took pictures all over and stuff, because it was so cool to actually see, like, once in a while a book would get made, but I mean, it's like, you wouldn't see it in stores or anything, but that was like the coolest thing to see it, like, there it was, like it actually did happen, you know, and I was almost thinking about signing it on the back, but I'm like, but it was great fun. The most fun thing about that I can't do now was that when I would draw or be on the computer, I would put on movies or documentaries specifically because I had no money, so I would go to the library a lot and just rent documentaries for free. And I just find out all this information that I never knew, you know, biography on this person or the making of this, and that's the one thing I really kind of miss that I can't do now, because when I edit, I really have to be focusing on the timing and stuff. But it was a lot of fun, and you know, sometimes I miss it, but I like this more.
And my other question is for both of you, transitioning from a sort of hobby to a full-time career, running your own businesses. Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the responsibilities of running your own business? Does that eat into your time to be creative?
Well, let's get one thing very straight. I don't run the business. I don't. I do not have a business mind at all. That's very much, that's Mike Mashad. He calls the shots on that. And I'm very thankful because that way I can only focus on the videos and the creative side. Because I would have no idea how to turn this into a living. And I would make all the wrong choices. And now with that said, I still sit in on business meetings and I'll offer my opinion and stuff, but like, I know I don't have a business mind. I respectfully leave that to the people who do. But there is stuff that still goes through your head, like, will this hit enough people? Will enough people want to see this? Well, what kind of variety do you want to do? You know, keep it kind of fresh and different. And that Mike pretty much gives me complete control over. And again, I'm very thankful because that is rare to have complete control over something in entertainment, especially when it catches on. When it becomes a really big product, like everyone wants to put their fingerprint on it. No, you need to do this. No, this needs to appeal to these people and these people and these people. And it's nice when it's just like, no, you do what you do fine, and you're continuing to do it. Just keep doing what you're doing, and it's really nice.
I mean, for me, up until very recently, it was absolutely a hobby. It was a self-sustaining hobby. It was a hobby that brought in just enough money to pay for what I put into it. So I guess fingers crossed going forward.
We've all watched our fair share of anime. My question is between like older styles like hand drawn and newer styles like computer drawn. Which do you think like is more surreal? Like I watched Neon Genesis and like anime with Open Magicka. Like, is there any surrealness between them?
Just pure surreal, and that's what you're going for?
Yeah.
They both have their pros and their cons. Like, you can watch Akira, and knowing that's all hand drawn is just unbelievable. TMS in general, that's one of my favorite anime companies. I love TMS. And they've done stuff like Animaniacs and Tiny Toons and He-Man the Pirates. Everything's done. So the hand drawn is just a little, I don't know, there's less filters to hand-drawn, so even though sometimes it can look weird, it still looks more honest. Where the CG, I think you can technically do more, but it feels a bit more artificial. So, but it can look so beautiful too. So it's like they're both illusions. So they both can have their own level of surrealness, I think.
Depends on how it's used, I think.
Yeah. So I can't. They both have their very strong surreal moments.
Also, do you feel like you're depriving your fans by not doing the full nostalgia outfit?
Say it again?
Do you feel like you're depriving your fans by not doing the full nostalgia outfit?
Oh, I don't.
She called you out,
I think there's
son.
enough people.